Okay, I have no idea what happened, but I got booted off. I'm gonna do this again. Dr. Sharnael, Wolverton-Sehon with swiftfire.org, True TV. Gonna talk to you about brainwashing techniques and how this is all going into play and how you can actually look this up yourself. This isn't a secret. This is public knowledge. You can look this up. I'll give you all the information to look this up. Going into how to deprogram from that as well. But if you look up, just Google the psychology of brainwashing and how it works. I just looked this up earlier today, but I did take a few psychology classes. Number one, isolation from associates or information is the number one technique for brainwashing. So getting people isolated and away from other people, as well as away from true information. That's the number one thing to start the whole brainwashing technique. Number two is having a regime to require absolute obedience. We may have seen that a little bit or two. Number three, social pressure and rewards for cooperation of this regime or obedience, as well as physical or psychological punishment for non-cooperation. Kind of interesting. Another, number four, would be deprivation of food, sleep, or any social contact. Now, with HARPs and DEWs and all the different distractions around the world with weather, this has, and now with this truck situation, there's lots of opportunities, even with the quarantine, where we were having some food issues, and I don't know about sleep. I guess fear would factor in with that. But definitely the social contact, even with children in schools, people at work, people working at home, the masks in general. There is a lot here. So that is a big one. Another really quick way to brainwash someone is to cause a lot of confusion. You're most apt to programming when there is a lot of misinformation, confusion in general, because you don't really have a stability to stay or stand. And so when you're discombobulated, other information is more easily sustainable and or taken in. So we might have seen a little bit of that with this PSYOP with Mockingbird, introducing that we have a new president and all of this stuff. And so if you just go back and watch my last two videos, the media doesn't tell us who the president is. The Constitution does. And if there is a ship that's going in one direction and you have this ship, it takes a lot to move a ship. And this is a big ship, the media. And back, 12 years ago, I had talked about how the tail of the ship had to do with government and media, whether it's the entertainment business or the news, and then also the government. So we have a dual thing here. And it's both Democrats and Republicans that are involved in this. But then again, if you got entertainment, then you got all the movies, you got the news, you got even like the talk shows and what have you, where, oh my gosh, if you've even seen them by accident, then you know that there is definitely a narrative there. So I want you guys to Google US 650-6148B2. I'm going to say it again. Google US 650-6148B2. US 650-6148B2. Look that up. It is, it's actually just right there in your face. I have it pulled up. The technology for the nervous system. Nervous system manipulation by electromagnetic fields and monitors. So they are using computers, TV tubes, and even with cell phone technology to monitor and to pulsate electronic magnetic fields capable of exciting the sensory resonances and subjects generating with images and subliminal information. The fields are affected, the nervous system is affected. It all comes through the television, and computers, iPhones, iPads, whatever. They do this by changing the frequency near a half a hertz or 2.4 hertz to the subject, and it actually goes right through stimulation of the skin with weak electronic magnetic fields, and it's pulsating. So it's a frequency war. Now, this was back in 2001, not to mention that Obama regulated and made propaganda legal in this country. You know, a lot of people in China, they won't watch the news because they know that it's propaganda. And we haven't been told that we have legalized propaganda here. But you can go back into the invention, and actually shows pictures of the invention. You can Google all of this. This is public information. You guys know I'm never gonna tell you things that I don't have backup knowledge on it. Now, what do we do? Is there anything to get beyond this humongous Mockingbird MK Ultra psyop? Yeah, I mean, of course, they're also using other things for support, like chemtrails, GMO, pharmakia, which means witchcraft. I just found out Tylenol, the word Tylenol, Ty means to tie to, Lenol means the venom of a snake, poisonous snake, by the way. And I'm actually going to have Dr. Q on next week, who's going to go into a lot of that. He's an MD, and I know there's a lot of Q's with this stuff. It's not on purpose, but that's the way it is. His name is James Sterling. He just wrote an interesting book on all this, and we're going to go into that as doctors. But, you know, with the lack of minerals in the food, with all of things they're putting in the food and in the water, like fluoride, which was a weapon, that's weaponized as well since the World War II. Hitler did it back in the day, and we just be careful with the water. Watch the water. But with this PSYOP, you know, you guys can Google all this and look it up. This is a legit thing. And now they did a practice run in March with the sea. And, you know, if you look around, you can see with your eyes, if you're paying attention, that there has been a little bit of success with that in the past. And I hope that you guys are sharing this, because I'm going to go into how to deprogram and how to get out of the programming, which is pretty much just the opposite of what all the steps I just said. You know, definitely someone who's did anything with MK Ultra stuff. I mean, this is just a bigger mass MK Ultra. And, you know, they worked with children and Montauk and what have you, all the different projects. And now there's just a ginormous project that has been going on since the 40s with Mockingbird. So they really did a big test run with the sea in March, and they were pretty successful. So why not move in and announce a winner that isn't even certified? Because if everybody comes into agreement and accepts, and because the TV said, then it's a bigger ship to turn. And also, there's an illusion of a takeaway. So if anyone feels like this is the truth now and the reality, then when the new information comes and the actual truth comes out, then it feels like a takeaway, and they feel like they're being robbed. And then that could, you know, that's just a whole different ploy. So not only are they betting on using our creative energy to lock in and anchor to this narrative, so we create that and put it in the biofield and accept it, but also they're using all of these technologies to get us in that lull, deprogramming opportunity and the misinformation opportunity, so they can present us with information, and some people would just be susceptible to it. Not everybody in the world has the notion to just use logic and think outside of the box. And when I say think outside the box, I mean literally outside the box of your TV, outside the box of your iPhone, outside the box of your cell phone and social media, because it's a box within a box within a box within a box. And so there's all these dimensions of truth that happen. And these things can be used for the positive as well, if we're awake to it, and if anyone is open to actually having the courage to look outside the box and see that there's other things going on here. But not everybody always does that. And even with the C that came out in March, if you remember, doctors came out and actually told the truth. And of course, they were very heavily censored, including myself. But now, even when the CDC came out, even when tons of doctors came out and told the truth, nothing but the truth, people still refuse to believe because the television didn't say it. And you want to talk about idolatry. It's not idolatry of a man, it's an idolatry of the media. And that needs to go. But so if you want to deprogram, you know, doing some of the opposite things, and I do hope you guys share and tag and talk to people and get people on this, because this is an opportunity for us to come out of that and come above that, the frequency above that. So the opposition to that, to their mode of operation through this mockingbird, is some sort of sensory experience outside of the boxes. You know, again, nature is full of code, and it can reprogram. Why do you think they don't want you to be in the sun? Why do you think they don't want you to be outside? There's code and all that. And yes, it's a simulated sun. And also that you can look up and you can see there's tons of patents on it. Why would you have a patent on a sun? But anyway, go outside and lock into nature, whether it's waves, music. I'm sorry, not music. Well, music is a good one too, but there's frequency and sound and entrainment in nature. There's code in nature. So definitely have some sort of nature experience, get grounded, socks off, feet in the dirt, will help just get into the resonance of the actual earth instead of whatever's going on. But also socializing is very important. Getting with people who are like-minded and who are fun and laughing and getting outside of the boxes to actually recode and remember this reality. Fresh air, get a fire pit, roast some marshmallows, do a barbecue, do something social with people, and really enjoy nature and the elements. Another thing that's really important, number 3, would be introduction and maintaining maintenance of the truth. So that would involve going outside the boxes and having the courage to look outside of what you've already been reading or introduced to, and seeing if that is something that you can look into, even if it's like crazy. I mean, believe me, there's been things that have been introduced to me that I've been like, okay, yeah, don't mess with that. I'm gonna have to come back to that one, and it's okay. Like, just baby steps. Definitely important for meditation, just to go inward and connect on all the levels that you can to Source and God. EMF protection is extremely important. You can put stuff on your cell phones. You could do a plug-in in your house. I have a link for that. That's really important. Solfeggio tones or music. That's a great opportunity to just go to YouTube and plug in, Google search or whatever, YouTube to 528 megahertz, or, that's a really good one. And just play it in the background. And, I'm here at the beach. There is something having to do with the waves, literally waves of music, waves of frequency that will bring an entrainment to the beta waves, and get you out of beta, and you can get more into the theta, which is the creative and the less programmable. It's like a great opportunity to actually just be in creative mode and radiating out. The TVs are all set to beta. Beta is the most programmable type situation you can be in. It's fight or flight, and all the televisions, everything is connected to beta waves, which is right where they can just kind of drop in. And if you go to sleep with the TV on, if you notice all the commercials, that is programming. So just be careful about, how much TV you're watching, how much television, and whose vision is it. Be aware of whose vision it is. So if we can get out of fight or flight and stay into the sovereign I am that I am decree, and there are books, the Science of Miracles talks a lot about how to shift the mindset and the biofield so you have a whole different experience in the deprogramming type. Now, if you have PTSD involved with the MK Ultra, Cathy O'Brien has a PTSD book that is amazing. I haven't finished reading it, but she went through lots of MK Ultra stuff, and she's got some really great how-tos on how to walk out of that. Like I said, I haven't finished all of it. I'm just at the very, very beginning, so I can't give like 100%. But I know that some of the things that she's went to, I've heard her share and explain. And, a lot of people that I know give her a lot of credit. So, that's what I know. So I hope this is helpful. I do hope that you guys look to see that Google, I'm not going to put the number on there, but I do hope you do your due diligence and look into it. And also want to encourage you that Lynn Wood is the attorney representing this whole situation right now. And if you want to look up Lynn Wood, he's a good guy. He's worked with the Covington team that and won. And he also, what's that dude's name? Richard Jewell. He represented Richard Jewell. And someone said he is representing Candace Owen right now, too. So I don't know if that's true, but I can look into it. But he won with that kid who had the mega hat. And, he got all that stuff with the school coming against him. And he was sued, did a lawsuit and won. So we got a lot going on. Tonight, I'm being interviewed by Amelia Love. And tomorrow, you guys hold tight, make sure you're following and getting notifications. Go into that little 3-dot thing and hit the follow button, and then go to default, because I am being shadow banned pretty bad. And they even told me, they're like, straight up, you're being shadow banned. When you have 32,000 people following you and it shows like 7 people saw this, it's like, that's a hint. But and they also sent me a little nice note about it. But tomorrow night at 5:30, I will be interviewing Amelia Love, ex-rapper, truther, patriot, activist for truth, and also Young Pharaoh, who is an actually he's still a rapper and activist for truth, has done a lot of work with this whole situation. And that'll be interesting. I haven't interviewed either of them before. I've spoken to Amelia several times. I don't know, Robert Steele has interviewed her. They've had a few interviews. And I was just on a panel with her, with Carrie Cassidy and Sean Stone, who's Oliver Stone's son, and also Laura Eisenhower, David Rodriguez. There was a big panel that happened a few days ago. That's where I met her. And she's pretty cool. I'm enjoying getting to know her. We've talked a few times on the phone. And so that interview with Young Pharaoh will be tomorrow night at 5:30 Central. And then we have Jason Q at 7. So please do get your notifications tomorrow with Jason Q. He just sent me this document of 171 pages that we're going to talk about tomorrow night in the chat, in our video. So, on the TV, on the show. So that'll be 7. And we also have upcoming, like I said, Dr. Q. And I have James Redfield, who is the author of Celestine Prophecy. If you've ever seen the movie or watched the book, opposite. Seen the movie or read the book. There you go. So check into all of that. Make sure you're following me. And I hope this is helpful. And I hope you guys do your due diligence to look up like things like the sun issue and or simulated sun, or you can go into the CIA Mockingbird. You can go into look up all this stuff that I've been saying with the US 650-6148 B2. Check that out. Again, all of this is right in front of our own eyes. It's just about looking and digging and finding it, and then actually coming into an awareness of what's happening. We can rise above it. We have the technology in our DNA. You are born for this moment. This is not an accident. You're absolutely born for this moment. We got this, however it ends up, who God only knows. But in my experience, cheaters don't win. And in the end, I'm believing that good still wins. White hats win. Every movie, the white hats win. And you can only do so much evil before karma catches up. And karma doesn't take a nap. Karma doesn't rest. And what these guys are sowing is pretty ridiculous and so obvious to many of us. And for those who it's not obvious, God bless your heart. I literally just, when I started to do this video earlier, it got cut off. And someone actually said, and you know this how? And it's like, Google, like, go to the CIA website, go to, just Google in the encyclopedia or Wikipedia. There's all kinds of information there right in front of your eyes. There's pages and pages of stuff that you can look up on a regular. That's all available to us. It's just about being informed and doing your due diligence to not just take whatever anyone tells you as the truth. We cannot be those people anymore. You cannot don't even take what I say as the truth. Please, dear God, go out and fact check. Someone fact checked me last night and I was wrong and I took it down. Someone said that there was new Wikipedia links and it came from a trusted source, and I didn't look and I popped it up there and had 9 shares, and the next thing you know, I looked for myself after and realized that it wasn't true and I took it down. I have no problem being wrong. I have no problem being wrong with any of this stuff. I absolutely am a truther, and I don't even care about my reputation if I'm wrong. I just want to make sure that the truth is being presented and that everyone has the same opportunity for that real truth to look into it and to see on their own. Do not take anyone's word for anything. And I really do believe, with the Constitution on the line and the futures on the line and people in this situation literally on the line, the media doesn't do anything. The Constitution does. And if there is fraudulence and things going on with ballots and what have you, then how can we ever, if we don't stand up for the Constitution now, then I don't see how we're going to have a chance with any trusted anything in government. Government already has this, reputation for things. And that's why the whole draining of the swamp has been so important and needed. And it still does. And it's not called a swamp for just the reason of the swamp. It's because this is slimy, this is cabal stuff, and it's bad. But we win. White hats win. This is going to happen. And I'm just going to keep my focus and my discipleship, my discipline on focusing what is real, what is true, what is lovely, what is beautiful, and using all the senses that I can to stay outside the box to keep my focus of creating something beautiful. And I hope you guys do the same. So I'm over and out. Hope to see you guys tonight and or tomorrow night with some of these interviews. Take care. Remember, be true, find truth, and you're not truly living unless you're living true. All right, talk to you, Sharnael. I'll talk to you later. Bye.